Hello and welcome to Money Pile Monday, where I am trying to turn my death pile into dollars by actually getting it listed. So I'm going to show you 20 items that I have pulled out of my death pile and actually put online up for sale. So I'm going to do the books at the end. Yes, I do have a lot of books in my death pile. I also have a lot of vintage clothes in my death pile. Books are just easy. So that is why I've been like kind of cheating a little bit and listing a lot of books until I run out of them, and then I'm going to be stuck doing clothes for forever. So I'm going to show you the not books first. And a lot of this, it's been like, why did it take me so long to list this? So this is a Lenox floating hearts vase, and you can see the floating hearts there, and it is actually brand new. I picked this up at an estate sale. The box apparently had been thrown away because I went on the last day of the estate sale, and as with most of the estate sales that I go to, there's a giant skip outside, so I'm guessing the box was in the garage and this had gotten separated from it. I don't know the story, but it's brand new. It still has the original Lenox sticker on it, and it's listed. So again, I don't know why. There are a couple of these up for sale, and so I just put it up and we're gonna hope together. I know, baby. Moxie is down here. You're just seeing her tail end here. Let me show you her front end, because that's a little bit more attractive. And I'm gonna show you some pots that I've had for forever. So this is a Miro. Miro is a mid-century brand that was famous for its cookware, especially its aluminum or aluminium, depending on what side of the pond you're on. Little oven. So this actually did not go in the oven. This went on to the stovetop. From my understanding of it, I don't know, maybe it went in the oven. I feel like it's not supposed to go in the oven. The other one that I'm going to show you says that it's only supposed to go like on the stovetop, so I don't know. But this is actually a bun warmer slash steamer, and it would normally have a steamer tray in the bottom. I mean, you can use it without it. It would be just fine. It's just your basic aluminum pot. But the other one I have, so this is the Miro, because it doesn't have the steamer tray inside of it, the little steam letter thing works really well still. But I listed this, and then this other one is gorgeous. Now this one's from the 70s, and this is from West Bend. Look at it. Is this not cute? But this one does actually have the steamer basket that goes inside of it, and they're the same size, so if someone bought both of them, they could just use this into the other one. It's not really a big deal. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and this is what I said, that, you know, it says not to put it in the oven. It just says on low or medium flame only. So to me, that sounds like it's supposed to be on the oven and not in the oven. But this is absolutely gorgeous. It does have the steamer tray inside, and because of the fact that this is a really cool looking piece, it got listed for more also because, you know, it has the basket inside of it. That does help. So I finally got those two things listed. Ooh, and this I thought was really neat. So you know how the other one had a little slide thing that you lifted for steam? This one, you turn the handle and there's the steam thing. I thought that was so cool. I thought it was a really clever way to do that. So this I got for free. This is, I think this is either 60s or 70s. I'm not 100% sure. This came from an estate of a very well-known actress. I'll have to ask my partner who she was. I'll put that up here. Hello, Editing Bob here and producer Miss Moxie. A couple things about this particular item. One, I did not realize how valuable it was until I started doing some research on it to actually get it listed, which it is listed now. Excessive Craft NYC is the maker of this belt, and they'd been around between 1935, which is when they were founded, until they fell out of fashion and eventually closed in the late 90s. They had a particular heyday in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and I found a sold comp of this belt for $129, which is a lot. A lot more than I expected for this belt. Is it $1,000 a lot? No, but it's a lot more than I expected, considering I thought that this was just a, you know, typical costume jewelry belt. I did not realize how valuable it was. despite the fact knowing that this came from the estate of Randy Rouse, and particularly the house that he had kept for his first wife, Audrey Meadows, which I briefly mentioned here. So yeah, this has quite the provenance. I'm not really going to include that. I know that might make it more valuable. And yes, I could probably get the person that dealt with the estate to sign something or state something or whatever, since they were close personal friends with Randy Rouse. But that's a little unnecessary, and again, it is valuable as it is. So if you see some costume jewelry or what looks like a costume belt made by Accessocraft NYC, it might be worth actually picking up. So my producer and I are gonna go back to editing this video and give you back to Bob. I didn't go to this estate sale. My partner's friend is very well off and very well connected, and he managed that estate when it was dissolving, and gave me a bunch of the leftover stuff that didn't sell from their estate sale or from the settlement of their estate. So he just gave me a bunch of free stuff, and I finally got around to listing this, which was one of the things. This is not real gold. This is just pot metal that looks like gold. It does stretch. This is for a tiny waisted person, you know, me maybe 5 years ago. It's like a 23 to a 26 because there is give in this. It is just absolutely amazing. I can totally see someone all glammed up and or going to the disco and or going to Studio 51 wearing this belt. You could wear it this way and have it be an up mustache or down. I just see mustache whenever I see this. I think it's just because I'm holding it by my face. But I finally got this listed and it's super beautiful. It looked really cute on Karen. And I know some vintage darling is going to want that. Speaking of vintage darling, this I picked up at another estate sale, but I actually went to this one. This is a 1950s box bag, but it is a soft box bag. A lot of the box bags I see are either lucite or they're actually wood, but this is a soft box bag, and it has these little tassels in the front. It has this like floral Victorian style pattern, or there's a lady, just one lady right there. And this has other stuff in it that I'm going to show you. So let me gently remove that so that way I can show you the inside of the bag. Because the inside of the bag is super clean, and it does have a slip pocket right here. I'm guessing that is for a mirror. And this is a Postus original. I have absolutely no idea who that is. I could not find any other ones online. But I just thought that this was so cool and I could not let it waste away at the estate sale. So the stuff I pulled out of the bag is at the same estate sale. No, this is a different one. So this is a different estate sale. I think I paid like 50 cents for these. They are salt cellars. They are crystal salt cellars. And they do have their original little plastic spoons to go with them. Super tiny. 3 of the 4 of these are in great shape. The spoons are all fine. But there is one of these that is cracked, and I'm not gonna, there it is. So this one is cracked. It does not go from one end to another, so it still holds salt, but I did have to disclose that. So I didn't pay very much for this, but I finally got them listed. That's been in a box for a while. And then the last thing, I didn't realize that this was kind of rare, but I have a wall pocket. And if you notice, this wall pocket has little slots there. And if you don't know what a wall pocket is, it's meant to hang on the wall. And I guess you could put stuff in this, like you could put the spice that you were going to use in it, because these have measuring spoons. And in order to insert the spoon into the slot to hang it up, you have to turn the spoon sideways and turn it this way. And I have all of the spoons. And I'm going to sneeze here in a hot minute. Or not. My face is just gonna trick me out and I'm gonna be upset about that. Did I put them in order? No, that's gonna bother me. I'm sorry. Would not allow that. All right, there we go. So now they're in order. But that just hangs up on the wall and you're never gonna lose your spoon. And I think the reason why these are rare is because of the fact that the spoons get lost and broken. And then also if you're not careful, because again, I had to turn these to put them in and you just like slam them in because you're busy, you got kids yelling or whatever. it gets broken. But this is in amazing condition, and I feel really, really lucky that I got to buy this and that I get to find it a new home, because it's just a really cool piece. Again, I have seen the one that has the plastic spoons, which I will show over here. That one does pretty well. It sells for like 20 bucks, but it's really rare to get it with all the original spoons. But it's still something to look out for. But I'm really happy that I found this, and it's got a little rooster on it. It's a little cup, little teacup. I thought it was so cute. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got this listed too. All right, and now for the book. So if you're not interested in selling vintage and antique books for not a whole lot of money, have a good day. If you are, or if you just want to see what I'm listing and picking up, you can stay. So this is an everyman's classic. That's the kind of books. There's a whole series of these children's classics. This is Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. Now this was a former library book. I know that because of the discard date up there at the top. Also, it has a shadow residue from where the Dewey Decimal System was. And then it also has where the card was ripped out the back. However, and then the other piece of damage is, while it doesn't have any writing on here, the title page is actually missing. So it has the chapter and contents page, but there is no title page right here. So I disclosed all that, and of course it's not up for a whole lot. I mean, if this was not that flawed, it's quite flawed, you know, I'd be able to ask $4 or $5 for it, but because it is so flawed, I'm just trying to find it a new home. I mean, I only paid 50 cents for this at the bins, so it's not really a whole lot. Speaking of the bins, I also picked this up at the bins. This is The Art of Fine Baking by Paula Peck. This is the first edition from 1961, and it is in actually pretty good shape. It still has the original dust jacket. The dust jacket is a little tattered, but I was really happy to find this because this is actually a really good book about baking from the mid-century era. So I'm happy to find this a new home, and again, I only paid 50 cents for it originally. Now this I think I got for myself, but it was in the pile with all the other books. I just went ahead and listed it because I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to this. I do have a degree in history, which is why I have a tendency to pick up a lot of historical nonfiction and then just have it because I don't have that much free time right now. But this is Jackson Land. This is about the President Andrew Jackson and the big land grab, like moving west and relocating Native peoples in not a great way. So that's what this book's about, and that president. So I listed this. Now I've actually shown this book quite a few times, and by this book I mean the Barnes & Noble little pocket edition classics. I buy and sell these all the time whenever I find them at the bins. This was actually given to me for free from Donna, again from her parents deciding to move. And the reason why this looks different than all the other ones is because this one is missing the dust jacket, but I still am gonna sell it because honestly it looks really nice. It looks just like a nice red. It feels really nice too. I didn't actually know what these look like without the dust jackets on them, but now I do. And this is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and it feels really nice. It's still got the ribbon, the beautiful gilded text block, and I don't think, but I mean, there's nothing else. Like, this is like new if it wasn't for the fact that it's missing the dust jacket. So I still listed this. Now I think most of you know who this lovely lady is. If not, this kind of helps with that. This is Lucille Ball, and this is, I believe, her biography written by Joe Morella and Edward Epstein. I don't know if it's related to the other one. Ooh. But yeah, I picked this up because I watched a lot of I Love Lucy on Nick at Night because I'm from that generation. I watched a lot of that, and Dick Van Dyke and the Maritime Morse and Green Acres were the four that I watched pretty religiously because I didn't really have a bedtime. It was just like whenever I fell asleep. So I picked this up because it was nostalgic, and then I realized that it's actually, considering it as a paperback, worth a pretty decent amount of money because there are still a ton of people that love I Love Lucy. It was an iconic television show, and it is she is just an amazing human being. And actually, if you did not know, Lucille Ball is partly responsible for Star Trek, the original series, happening. So now you know. But I thought this was great, and I was happy to pick this up. This is one of many. So I actually picked up, so this is number 1, but I have 11 of these in this lot because I found all of them at the bins. I went through every bin and I could not find, I think there are 15 total in this series. I could not find number 7. I could not find number 12, and I could not find 14 and 15. So I tried, I couldn't, so I'm just listing what I got. And if they don't sell within a certain time period, I know that the secondhand store that I do buy, sell, trade with will happily take these, and I will at least get my money back. So I'm not really worried about that. This is something I actually had picked up for myself at the bin. So this was only 25 cents, and I didn't realize that I had done that on a previous bins trip. So because I have 2 copies, one of them is getting sold, and this is actually like brand new. There's not even any really shelfware on the edges from it being in the store. It is immaculate. Like, this isn't even creased. It is beautiful. And I love my slow cooker easy meals, and so maybe I should use the book that I have, and if I used it, then I would remember that I have it, and I won't end up doing this again with you. So this is now up for sale. The Jackson Land book is not really that valuable because it is a recent edition. It's actually from 2015. But this is a vintage history book, and it is worth a decent amount of money because it's about Scotland. It's 1,000 years of Scottish history with different illustrations and different lineages and photographs of historical places and people. And when I picked this up, again, it was one of those things, was like, do I want to keep this? Yeah. Am I going to read it? Probably not. But so I did pick this up, and it is worth a few more than the 50 cents I paid for it at the bins. So very happy with that. Same with this. So this was 25 cents because it is a floppy copy. I did not mean for that to rhyme. And it has both the DVD and the CD in it, or the double DVD. I don't know what that is. Yep. DVD. It has the DVD and the CD in it. So this is brand new. This was never used, obviously, because this is still sealed, and I feel like if anybody actually used this, they would do that. So I've put this up for sale on eBay, and that is something, because it is new, I could actually probably send that into Amazon if it doesn't sell within a year. I doubt that I'll still have it. There's actually only one listed right now, and there's no comps, and so I just underneath, and we'll see what happens. I've talked before that at the bins I will happily pick up new journals, and as I've talked about before, Jesus sells. So this is a inspiring psalm journal, and it allows you to not only color, so it's some stress relief while you commune with the Lord, but also it has the journaling on the side to have your thoughts and reflections on the passages in here as well. So I thought that was really neat. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this where like it gives you a coloring activity to do with everything else. But I know, like, what was it, the mid 2010s when, or the teens, when that was like really big to do adult coloring. So I picked that up. I just thought that was really cool. And again, I've talked about picking up picking up new journals, and I've had really great success selling those. And the last 3 books I have to share with you, I got from my friend Donna again. So all of these were free, and I went ahead and grabbed them because they're all classic literature. I have 2 from Charles Dickens, Great Expectation and Oliver Twist. And both of these do have slightly larger, it's not large print, but it is larger print than normal, which is why it's such a thick boy. And then another Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And this does look a little bit daunting, but I assure you it's just because it's easy read pages. That's why. But all of them are unabridged. So we'll see if somebody wants some thick boys on the shelves. And that's everything. So that's 20 items all listed that were in my death pile that now will hopefully make me money. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope that it has inspired you to get into your own death pile. I know that I recently saw my friend Victoria, whose video I will link up above, who she's doing a Mend It Monday. So if you would like some more content similar to this, but she does a great job like actually mending the items and going through a process, I would highly recommend watching that next. So I'll link it up above, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!